Hello everyone and welcome to Perek Chavav, that is chapter 26 in the book of Vayikra. Chapter 26, Perek Chavav, actually takes place between two chapters, two parshiyot I should say. The first one begins in Parshat Bahar. Bahar, literally the mountain, begins with the laws of Shemitah and ends off with the laws of Avodah Zarah, foreign worship of false gods. And Hashem tells us, do not make a pesel. What is a pesel? A pesel is a image, graven image of any form of person or image in the heavens or the earth, sun, moon, stars, etc., etc. And we're not allowed to make them. In addition, we're not even allowed to make a column that supports Avodah Zarah, even if the column itself is not an idol, but because it supports an idol, you cannot make it. We cannot even make in Even Maskit, a kneeling stone, a stone, not to serve the stone, but a stone used by idol worshippers to bow down on to their idols. And this is a concern that anything that is used with an idol is forbidden for us to use. The only way for us to use it is if an idol worshipper themselves would be nullifying this idol or item and saying that it's no longer a god, no longer being worshipped. And Hashem gives us two more important instructions in this perek. Number one is guard my Shabbat. The Shabbat is very important to guard and be careful not to do any work on Shabbat. And then, et mikdashi tira'u, you should revere my mikdash. Basically, behaving especially there, being very careful not to do anything disrespectful in the Bet HaMikdash. And part of it is guarding the Bet HaMikdash. They would have a watch of Levi'im standing guard. Not that anyone's breaking in, but if something is a special place of awe, we have guards that guard it, so too in the Bet HaMikdash. And then we move on to Parshat Bechukotai. Now, Parshat Bechukotai begins with a very serious choice that Hashem tells us. Im bechukotai telechu vet mitzvotai tishmaru. If you will go in my ways and keep my laws, then Hashem will promise us many blessings for obedience of my Torah. Not just in the next world, but actually Hashem promises us in this world physical blessings and prosperity. However, the Torah also goes into great detail of, God forbid, curses and consequences for disobedience. So Hashem tells us, bracha or klala, blessings or curses, this is our choice. And we see, our rabbis tell us, that a lot of these consequences that are listed are actually prophecies about the destruction of the first Bet HaMikdash and all of the terrible things that happened and Galut. But Hashem ends off this chapter with a very comforting thought. Hashem tells us that even after all that has been done, I will not abandon you, and I will bring you back from the land of your captivity, and I will be your God, and I will take care of you. And this has actually been a very comforting perek, even though it starts off very scary for us about all the, God forbid, curses that may befall. But we've seen in Jewish history that many of these things have happened and passed and gone. And now we wait. Very soon Hashem will fulfill the remainder of the chapter to remember us and bring us back from the land of our captivities and save us from all of our enemies and build the third and final Bet HaMikdash with Mashiach now.
Oh, what's going on over here? How are the kids supposed to remember all of these things in chapter 26?
Candy.
Well, I think I will tell you a silly story. Chapter 26 is chapter NoSH.
Nash, what does Nash have to do with 26? Well, here we go. The secret code is that 2 flipped on its side is an N, and SH is actually 3. The symbol for 6 is actually a J or CH or SH, because all of them make a J sound. Now, how that works is a little bit hard to understand, but the J in script, the J is sort of like a backward 6, if you want to imagine that. J and Ch and Sh are related to the J, because if you make that little sound of a J with your lips, and then you make a Ch and a Sh, you'll notice that your mouth is making the same shape when you go J, Ch, Sh. So in our secret code, J, Ch, and Sh all represent 6, because a J looks like a backward 6. Okay? If you follow that, that's great.
Well, okay, so what does it have to do with NoSH? Well, I'll tell you. You see, in the beginning, there was a big NoSH machine. Yes, in the olden days, if you wanted to worship Avodah Zarah, you would go to the Avodah Zarah NoSH machine, and you would buy for $1. You would put in, and you could buy yourself an idol, a person idol, a moon idol, a sun idol, or even a fire god, and it would come right out of the machine. What a bunch of fools that they believed in a bunch of junk.
And what about the blessings and the curses?
Oh, you see, there's 2 different types of NoSH machines. One is the blessing machine, bracha machine, and one is the curse machine, klala machine. And if you're smart, you will go and put your money in the bracha machine and have only blessings. If you are foolish, of course, you can go to the klala, curse NoSH machine, and get curses. Don't do that. Go to the blessing machine. Thank you for listening.